Okay. Oh, it's just heavy.
We can't do this.
Yeah, no, I got
with
to.
Lyle, you can't mean it.
But that was your wish.
He despises me.
You're his mother.
Yes, that's what makes Can't tell I care, but it's here, for it comes from my heart. My wound, my love, my darling, will be too full and
Take his own word. What happened? Get your hands away from your side, son. Move slowly, slowly. You don't want to make the phone call, son? Can you tell us what happened, son? Can you tell us what happened? Stay away. Make sure it's all right.
Of course, you get him home today without your husband's consent. One of us have him without you. You want home? I want to go home sometime, darling. Or you look the rest of your life, you're going to be tied to him. You'll never be free.
And it didn't do any good to run away. No good at all.
Never does the good to run away, Killer. Go back to Buenos Aires
No.
and get an annulment. You told me your husband left you immediately after the ceremony. There's nothing to it. And I'll be with you, darling. I'll be right by your side every minute.
Clarence? Tell me what happened, son.
Come on, Lyle, you can get that one. Come on. Get that. Good. Okay. There you go. There you go. Great shot, Lyle. Way to go, Lyle. It's very impressive. Now that's got kicks.
Pretty sloppy, wouldn't you say, Wayne? He could have put you away 3 times. If he did, and you take the credit for that. The inferior competition, and that's all, huh? Is that championship tennis? We talked to. Well, Margie, I just brought the tape recorder.
It wasn't pressing him. But I wanted to work on his ground strikes.
I'm sure you had your reasons, Wayne. You might be able to make great players that way, but not champions. Where am I flying into today?
Yes, sir. Well, if you've got a program, I'm more than willing to try it out.
That won't be necessary. I'll be sending you a check.
What? Your coach starts tomorrow.
How many is that? 40? 50?
Don't criticize your father.
I played my tail off.
The other wants what's best for you.
Why can't you take my side once in a while, Mom?
I'm not taking anyone's side, Lyle.
This is Switzerland. She's remaining neutral.
Right this way, Mr. Hernandez. Hey, guys, it's Menendez. Mr. Jose Menendez. Who's your man? I'm the manager. 2 guys behind you, no good. The people around you like that you're dead in this business. All right, let's go.
Robert.
Yeah, they were just, they weren't just anything. They were better than they want a recording contract that stops. My office is on the clock.
I am here.
Mom, we're going out.
That's nice. Where are you going?
Just dinner. This place by Princeton. Take care, Mom.
You have to go.
We're meeting some people.
Of course.
How
late are you gonna be?
Sure, Jackie, just go.
Don't worry about it. She'll be passed out in a half hour anyway.
Okay.
Get out. Get out, get out, get out, get out!
I don't have to
Oh,
go.
what do you care?
Oh, come on, Mom.
It's little boys' night out, isn't it? Little boys and big boys' night out.
Coming or not, Eric? Make up your mind.
They had to walk you through that hospital too on the
What they ought to do is make a robot that can coach tennis. Never did that when it was all firing, right?
And when they got
Have like a virtual reality tennis coach. Right? And every couple of days, I'm serious, every couple of days, Dad just push a button,
All face changes.
I didn't think we met this last guy. He's gone already. Wasn't bad, really.
Doesn't even pay to learn their names. Eric, you're finished. Do you think you can go get the car? I just want to talk to Ralph for a minute.
I'm sorry. I was going to get a date, but it fell through.
It's not that. I need to talk to you.
Well, we can drop him off at the house.
Fine. I'm pregnant. I'm going to have the baby lab.
It wouldn't be right to. The thing is, she says she's entitled to. I mean, a lot of people in college nowadays.
You want to talk to her?
Look, I've got this problem. I wanted to talk to you about it. I had to talk. I talked with.
Can you speak?
Yes.
Do so.
Jackie Hayes.
I know who she is.
Yeah, I know, Dad. The thing is, she's pregnant.
You stupid imbecile. In this day and age, can you imagine?
She wants to have a baby.
She wants to have a baby. That's what she wants. What do you want? You want to go to Princeton as a father? Stop it, Lyle. I'll take care of it.
No, wait a minute.
No, you wait a minute. You knew perfectly well when you started with this woman that you weren't going to marry her. Nothing has changed.
I know that, but
I'm going to take care of this. Can you talk to me? Don't know this again.
That's gonna be a little hard for us to argue. Actually, some people have been making statues of these white girls over the years. Art exhibitions. Yeah.
Matching up.
You're making the right decisions.
All I gotta do is count the gold records, Jose. You're a valuable man. We all know it.
no more bonuses, man.
You think I don't appreciate what you've done? You think I don't know who signed all those people? Yeah, but it's not enough to make you president, right? These things take time. Look, Jose, you've done a great job for us the years you've been here. I mean, I wish I could convince you to stay. But anyway, we could help you in the future. By, you're making a big mistake, Larry. I was trying to get in touch with you for severance.
Yeah, supposed to have users on it.
Assume you're right. Assume free trade. Which industry's benefiting?
Manufacturing,
Well,
possibly heavy machinery. Certainly nothing in electronics. The Japanese would wipe us out.
there was price control during the Korean War. Did you know that? What were the results?
That was to prevent inflation. Wasn't it?
And did it?
I guess.
From a high school sophomore, that kind of ignorance is forgivable, perhaps forgivable.
You're trying to get admittance into Princeton. You gotta use your brain. Exercise it. Like you play tennis. Discipline yourself, please. You're not gonna make it on tennis alone.
I'll do some more work on it tonight. I'll see what I can find out.
Just see what you can find out.
I'll talk to you about it at breakfast. I'll know more about it then.
You'll find it under the Office of Price Stabilization. And notice that there's a direct historical connection with the wartime rationing.
Yes, sir.
Lucy, the asparagus was delicious tonight. Did you get it at the market? No, ma'am. Got at the stand this morning.
I gave my resignation to Larry today. I think we'll do much better in California, all of us. You'll see my coffee in the den, please.
I need to talk to you. Is now a good time?
Mm-hmm.
It's about the move to California. Do you have something lined up out there? There's so much of the music business here. So I'm wondering if Lyle applying to Princeton, maybe you could talk to some companies in New York.
You really think Lyle wants us around here as he goes to college?
You know, it's just that he's got this girlfriend.
His age is out of the picture. But that's not really what this is all about, is it?
All of my friends are here. And you work such long hours anyway. I know it's your job and it's important. But I'm so lonely. I know you say I make friends in California. But I don't know anyone there and I don't make friends easily. So if we could just please stay.
Of course. You can stay with Lyle. I'll take care of you.
Me stay with Lyle.
At least until he's into Princeton.
We can't do this.
Can't?
Me stay with Lyle, you can't mean it.
But that was your wish.
He despises me.
You're his mother.
Yes, that's what makes it so unbearable.
Didn't know you felt that way.
Don't go and leave me here. Listen to me, please. I know this isn't much of a marriage, but at least we're a family. At least we've got that. And if I'm here and you're in California with Eric, that'll be the end of it. No, Jose. Do you think I don't know? At least this way you come over here.
Fine. We'll all go to California. It needs landscaping, but you can make a magnificent garden. Everything.
It's beautiful.
It is what it is. But you'll make it beautiful.
When have you ever seen me garden?
Come see the pool. Because bougainvillea stains the cement.
Your mother's gonna love this. She's gonna say we need more shade.
Well, we can move it over by the trees. It's possible. Well, actually, we can move the trees over here. That's bad.
It's an obvious analogy, and I'm sure the whole audience got it. Miller was equating McCarthyism, anti-communism with the Salem witch hunts.
Exactly. Today we need footnotes in the text to point out the connection. The men of Miller's audience saw the place about witches, no problem. Do you have something to say, Mr.
Menendez? These platitudes we're accepting so glibly should be examined once in a while if the object here is to get anything like an education.
Normally we wait until we're called on, Mr. Melendez, and then we explain our positions without belittling other people.
The name is Menendez. If this were a civilized discussion, well, I'm sure I'd follow those procedures. The fact, if anybody's interested in facts, is the communists are real and witches aren't. There's the obvious analogy. Fools, aren't they? Most of them, yeah.
Not much, actually. I was thinking of getting a job.
There's no need for that, Lyle. All you have to do is prepare yourself for Princeton.
I wasn't accepted. I didn't forget that.
You'll be accepted next semester. Are you keeping up with the curriculum I sent you?
Of course, Dad. I'm on top of it. Look, I gotta go. Say hi to Erica Mom. Did I ever tell you my father practices telekinesis?
Telekinesis.
Controlling matter at a distance. In this case, I'm the matter.
You know, I don't get it. You didn't get accepted, but you hang around here. Until what? Until you get accepted next semester?
We did it. Let's go.
Wow, what am I missing here?
What you're missing is inquisitory. Is that if I went back there, all my father's friends would know I wasn't accepted, wouldn't they?
That's fine, right?
Nothing wrong with it. You don't understand.
Well,
You don't understand, so shut up.
Dennis Menendez, that wasn't part of the deal.
You sold this company was put in charge. There was nothing about a role in the game.
You don't get to squeeze me out.
That's good. You sold your company.
That was under duress. It was under duress.
You accepted it. Marjorie, would you please come in with the council report? You accepted it, Mr. Williams.
Accepted it. It wasn't an offer. That was some kind of an ultimatum.
Now, would you please go ahead? You're going to be sorry. You're going to be grieved. Are you threatening me, sir?
Here we go.
What are you doing?
We're just playing a game, Dad.
I gave you a choice, didn't I?
Dad, it's just a game. Hey, Eric, I guess I'll see you in school tomorrow. I gotta go. Come on, guys. Wait, please. I just have to talk to him about some homework, okay?
Fine. Greg looks like an intelligent man. He might learn something. Both of you come up here. What part of our agreement didn't you understand?
Dad, it's not that. It's just
Listen to yourself. It's not that. It's not this. It's something else. You're old enough to be a man. If you can't be one, act like one. Don't tell me what it is and tell me what it is.
it's a soccer game, sir.
And why aren't you supposed to play soccer?
Because I chose swimming. I did my swimming. I did an hour in the pool this morning.
That's good. That was this morning, not this afternoon. Greg, did he tell you that his grandmother was an Olympic swimming champion for Cuba?
Yes.
He tells you about his family's accomplishments.
Yes, sir, he mentioned.
He told you that his grandfather was one of the top 5 soccer players in all of Cuba. When I was your age, I was given the same choice. Do you think that was an easy decision for me to make? Do you have any idea? I wanted to be like my father. I wanted to follow in his footsteps. I wanted to walk down the street and have people say, "Ay, va Joselito, he plays just like his father." But I had to evaluate myself. You can only excel in one sport. That's what my father said to me. And I had to make the choice. Could I follow in my father's footsteps? And when I found out that that wasn't true, I became a swimmer like my mother.
Dad, I know that.
You're 16 years old. Up to now, you've shown me nothing but mediocrity. It better change.
Some speech. All right, Dad.
That was hell. Could have never been. Jeez, Eric. Give it a break.
You like the way they sing?
Yeah, you're good.
They're good.
You're damn good.
I'll say it.
She knows what she's getting herself into.
Just don't say anything. If they ever talk to my family, I wouldn't say anyway. I'm expecting something. You know, when you're going to call first?
They ever recorded?
Just this video. They play places you haven't even heard of. You'll find them some decent dates, then sign them. But yeah, who's there?
Oh, okay.
That won't be necessary. Princeton says, yes.
Oh, that's wonderful.
But you did it. I told you you could do it, and you did it. You did it. Was it worth it?
Yeah, no.
Princeton. Now you stay home until the semester starts. And tell people you're taking some time off.
Yes, sir.
Let's celebrate! Come on! It's a very notable achievement. What a man. You remember this moment, Eric? If you redirect yourself, you may be able to bring us news like this.
You can't let it go for a minute, can you?
No, should I?
We can't all be going with that. Maybe if you redirect yourself, you can learn to live with that.
Sorry about this, Lyle. I hope this doesn't ruin your homecoming.
He hasn't.
Well, he's really hard on himself. The pressure.
Yeah, I wonder where it came from. If you'll excuse me, I'm going to talk to my brother. It's been a little rough, huh? I kept telling myself you're going to be home soon, and now you...
Come on, Eric. 5 months till I have to
I
come
mean,
back.
you got to accept it, for God's sake. The screw's on now.
That's Dad. You gotta learn to live with it. I understand where he's coming from.
Where is he coming from? What, Cuba?
Take it easy, Eric. I'm on your side.
I know you are. It's just hard with you gone. And now, in a few months, you're going to be gone
That's why
again.
you've got to listen to me. That's why you've got to get on top of this thing.
I'm not going to make it without you.
All right, listen to me. This is a guy who got out of Cuba with nothing. Look around. Look where we are. That's an amazing jump, Eric. You got to push yourself to do stuff like that. You could have been a busboy somewhere, and we'd be living in some two-bedroom flat. He's not human. He's not soft. That's all. Most people are soft. They don't know how to get what they want. They let things get in their way. Or people. You're damn right. No one gets in Dad's way. Ever.
You're going to tell me that's right? You listen to yourself, Lyle. It's not you. You sound like him.
You will too, little brother. Stick with the program. It's going to get in your way.
No, you can't defend him like that. Look at what he does to me. Look at what he does to me.
He's a great man, Eric. She's nothing. You're too close to her. That's your problem.
Yeah.
You don't watch out, you're going to be
It's all
nothing
right.
too.
I got it all down.
You love a man like that.
Love him? Are you crazy? I hate his guts. Thank God, listen.
cried when he went to kindergarten. I think we'd be used to it by now.
Ready? Begin. 1, 2, 3. Come on, louder. Breathe. 4, 5, 6, 7. Come on, baby. 1, 2, and again. 1, 2. Very good. Let's go to the back. Ready? 1, 2. That's right. 3, 4. Breathe through. 5, 6. This practice was called for 2 o'clock, Menendez.
Yes, sir, but you're working on the volley. I don't need to work on my volley.
So you just gave yourself the day off, is that right?
No, sir, I was practicing my serve.
You're part of a team, Menendez. Does that concept mean anything to you?
No, sir, I play tennis.
Hey, you were quick. Short practice.
Started at 2.
Oh, you were here before.
I was practicing, wasn't I?
Well, you can't do that.
I just did. Look, all they care about is the results.
Everybody's good with tennis players. Like the way they move.
On the court.
That's part of it. I'm gonna take a shower. I'll be out in a minute.
Need your back one?
Friend of Lisa's?
Yeah.
You're,
Oh, I just live here.
it's cool, it's no problem.
Gentlemen, this is 50 freestyle. Swimmers to the blocks. Take your marks.
Great swim.
You lost it on the turns. You have to start working on the turns.
He took 0.2 of a second off his personal best. Did you know that, Eric? 0.2.
Not the weekend. Take the weekend off. On Monday, you start to work on the turns.
I can see your mommy. It's right there. It's the next guy. I just pulled. I told him to pull.
You did fine. You did just fine. You can't let your father upset you like this. You're supposed to take care of
You're supposed to!
take care of me.
Well, we've got a choice. It can be on the 40 or by
Castiglione.
or Machiavelli.
Machiavelli.
All right, fine. Okay, and the concept of social relations, how they reflect the Renaissance.
That's fine, I understand. Marley, can you text yourself on me and express your feelings, please?
Oh, more homework? What's this one about?
Machiavelli. When are you going to become a Republican?
You pay me more money.
Menendez?
Yeah.
time for bottle.
Thank you. Take it easy.
I mean, I love the competition, being better than someone else. But it's more than that.
Sometimes don't you just want to smash them? Just drive it right over the net to their faces.
Yeah. But you're never supposed to admit it. It's such a civilized game.
I said civilized.
Can we be serious for a minute? I'm so worried about you. I never see you do anything. No.
School?
That's why you're here, I suppose.
It's under control. Let's talk about something else.
What are you flunk out? Leave me alone.
Well. Aren't we naughty? Huh.
They're checking ID. Let's forget about it.
Don't worry about it. What about Craig? He's waiting us here.
I told him they'd be checking.
No drinking, right? I mean, I don't want to be looking for a new job. No problem. Okay.
I told you my dad's in the business. You're up early.
I've got some stuff I've got to do this morning.
That's not like you, Chip.
What do you mean?
Nothing, I guess.
No, it's just Lisa sort of mentioned you don't study too much, that's all. Sometimes you just got to know how to handle these things.
Is that right?
But failure will never overtake you.
Your desire to succeed is strong enough. What the hell is that?
My father gave it to me.
You ought to read it.
Oh, here. Anyone who wants true success should read this masterpiece. Like, I mean, sure, hey, why not? Hey, your daddy gave
People
it to me.
matter and people don't. Just that simple. You make up your mind what you want to be.
And who do you want to be, Kelly?
Colin Hill.
Lyle, have you got Henderson?
No.
Yeah. I gotta go to the library. Are you gonna be here?
What do you think?
Yes. All right.
Watch my stuff.
Okay.
Thanks.
The question comes down to a matter of cell metabolism. And it's the action of enzymes that are all important. Read the material on enzymes, your lab report. I have to do all
Just a minute. I think you know what this is about, Mr. Menendez. No, sir. Well, then let's skip ahead to the last chapter, Mr. Menendez. Your last chapter of Princeton, right?
What seems to be the problem?
Plagiarism, Mr. Menendez. In this case, you're using another student's data in your lab report. I was in lab all week. I'll be your hearing, Mr. Menendez, but don't insult my intelligence and yours.
Sir, I panicked. None of my experiments worked out. I'm afraid.
Experiments don't always work, Mr. Menendez. That doesn't justify.
I know that, sir.
I was afraid. My father, your father, copied the report.
He'll kill me.
He'll destroy me. He doesn't tolerate mistakes. So I took the chance this will be more difficult to explain to you, Mr. Menendez, sir.
What's wrong?
I'll do the lab again. Whatever it takes.
So you're from the discipline committee, Mr.
Please, sir, you don't understand my father. Please.
Goodbye, Mr. Menendez.
That's why I came with you there or something.
Let's go on to explain what's going on
I just wanted to say hi.
We have here, Mr. Menendez, it's a clear case of stealing another student's work. I'm not sure I understand the purpose of your visit. I don't know what my son has said in his defense.
There's no question of his guilt, Mr. Menendez. He copied another student's data.
I don't think my son denies that. Red light?
Yes, sir.
When I say defense, sir, I do not mean denial. When we are wrong, we accept our responsibilities. But there are, however, things that can be said on his behalf. Of course, we're willing to hear what you have to say, Mr. Menendez, but this isn't a trial. What your son did constitutes plagiarism. The honor code here is very specific. I know well the honor code. But in this case, you're punishing the wrong man.
If you mean that the other student copied your son's work, I assure you.
What I mean, sir, is the guilty party here. It's not Lyle. It's his father. I see the doubt in your eyes. When I first heard about this, I felt it was a betrayal of my family, you understand. As I lay there, unable to sleep, I started to remember the demands that I placed upon him. Unreasonable demands, I now understand. Most of our students were raised with very high expectations, Mr. Menendez. I know that my background may not be relevant to you except to mitigate my own guilt. I came to America as a refugee escaping communism in Cuba. My family was very successful before the days of Castro, but I came to America poor. And the most important thing to me was the distinction between myself and other Spanish-speaking refugees. I'm not Central American or South American, nor Mexican or Puerto Rican. I'm Cuban and proud of it. And I'm not a tolerant man. I placed intolerant demands on my children. This is the result. A young man, so terrified of displeasing a demanding parent, that he makes a tragic miscalculation. Who's guilty? I am. I ask you to take this into consideration while making a decision about Lyle. You state your case quite strongly, Mr. Menendez. I hope in the light of what you say, there will be some improvement in your relationship with your son. But our honor code is very important to us here. I am willing to recommend suspension rather than expulsion. After a year, Lyle will be free to reapply for admission. Is this decision final? It goes before the honor committee, but I have little reason to believe that their decision will be any different. I cannot accept this. If you don't mind, I would like to speak to the president of the university. I do mind, Mr. Menendez, very much. Discipline is handled at the college level. I doubt he will see you. That arrogant, self-serving Washington leaders think he is. They pride themselves in the liberality. They're hypocrites, no better than communist trash. And I want to thank you for I have to come here and grovel before this swine for you, and you not even know. How dare you humiliate me? You! Why does everything have to do with you? Because unfortunately, you're my son. It's a bad part of the book.
I want to know that crap about your guilt, huh?
Oh, no, you cheated, Lyle.
And then, like,
Don't disgrace yourself any
he
further.
plays Selena's dad.
Perhaps you would have done better off with a short
Puerto
order
Rican
book.
girl that got killed by her manager. He plays her dad, but he's younger there.
But the fact is, you know what?
Heck yeah,
You can stay here until you readmit him.
that's a good movie.
Try to do something with yourself.
How long have you been putting my treatment on? Yeah, what's that? Huh? What's next year? After Danny kills me. Make a movie out of it. Yeah, right. Or I kill him. No, really. I know better. You might want to think that, but it's not going to happen.
It's so hard. That direction. Then drift and become nothing. Wasted lives.
He's
This world is hard.
sleeping with somebody else.
A name like Menendez.
Thing is, his wife knew it all the time.
Resentment command in there.
I'm done with that.
You know they hate me. I see who it is.
Don't say that. Come on, don't think that.
I used to say it was love, as well as hatred. I don't know. As you know, I don't know.
You just can't. Everybody resents their parents.
Tell me what to do. For them, for their sake. For their sake. You want to take care of them. Make it easy. For my children.
I'll be so glad when these holidays are over with. Only that much. I don't like holidays.
All of them.
ain't even got the money to buy for grandkids. You have your dinners at your house. You used to have it at your house, right? It's always been in my house.
And everything, I haven't had a single chance to sit down and just be like, man, I want to train this month. Like, I get 5 minutes a day to just train one game. I'm like, oh,
Rips the
You
door.
got Thanksgiving.
He turns it slow.
Right. Now, tapped closer. Hamilton. His forehead is beaded with sweat.
We're doing the same.
I have already loaded.
First is your in school days. Where's your
this is a spoiler for Pokemon X and Y. Please turn down your
Close, right. Okay, he swings open the door. Interior of the bedroom.
You're up, Bernie?
So I started a new exercise program. How long do you think it'll take me to look younger, huh? How long do you think I'd have to bike before I look 25, or maybe 30? Is that about the right age?
Is this some kind of riddle?
I'm tired.
A
Do it.
little bit. You can press F3 and find out.
How did you sleep last night?
He ain't telling you.
You can't do this to me! Do this to me.
No. Being loaded. See, the thing is, he came here and swimming stuff. And all of a sudden, the revolution comes and shuts everything down. You couldn't get money out. There was no way for my grandparents to send him a nickel. He didn't even know his soul. Except for the swim team, I guess. Later on, he got a job at a restaurant or something. That's how he put himself through college.
I could never have my hair that short.
People we have to deal with are very difficult too, Philip. Believe me. This man we bought the company from,
Winter.
Bob Winter. Very good. Wanted me to keep him on, but I want that. He's filing a suit.
Have the Winter sue you.
It's a nuisance more than anything.
One of the guys on the swim team, his dad says he went to the gangster or something.
Is that supposed to matter?
I don't know, good.
It doesn't. Can't live your life coming back here. Going down with this suit. Philip, I would like to have Eric have 2 more jackets.
As far as I'm concerned, I just should write the whole thing off.
Right out of college?
What good's it doing? My whole life's on hold. I'm supposed to wait around till they decide whether they're going to take me back or not. Maybe they won't. Hell with it.
You'll spend your whole life chilling out. Might as well do it on purpose.
So obviously you've given this some thought. You have some alternatives in mind.
Anything. How about this place?
This? This is what you're gonna do?
Why not? Look at this place. It's half empty. 3 blocks from a campus full of students, and they can't fill the place. Redesign it, change the venue to gold mine.
Get real, wow. You don't know the first thing about running a restaurant.
Didn't you say that your dad used to work at the restaurant? It was his first job.
You know, I'm sick and tired of hearing about your wonderfully accomplished father.
You don't understand him, you can't understand me.
You know, I suppose Nick does.
Yeah, as a matter of fact, you got that right.
Then why don't you marry Nick?
What? Say I do, boys. Say I don't, boys.
I know where the hell they keep the keys.
I don't know.
Come on, Carl, think.
Can't take my car up the hills.
It could be anywhere. I'm not supposed to take the car out unless.
Carl. We're going to put gas in the car. Hey, you guys won't even know.
Come on, Carl. We don't want to sit around here all day.
You can't take your car? What the hell are you doing?
Look, they're in some drawer. People always say the car.
Is that in a drawer? What's that?
It's nothing. It's just junk.
Yes.
Now, what do you say we call a couple girls and take them with us? Great. Right, you go fill the car up and then make a phone call. Right? Carl. Everything doesn't have to be an argument. Just go fill the car up.
Where's that all at?
Combination. Ready on the back. Take a save on the down.
At least I didn't mind it.
What are you doing? Come on, cut it out. He'll be back in a minute. Let's call some girls. You said we were going to
Call some girls, drive around. And this is it. This is what we were talking about. It's a perfect crime.
A perfect crime in your friend's
I want
house.
to do the perfect crime.
It's like that movie, Perfect Murder. This is the perfect murder movie. Yeah, in a friend's house, no one will ever suspect.
It's crazy, that's all.
Of course, it's crazy. That's the whole point. Aren't you just sick of all this nothing? School and swimming and swimming in school? I'm sick of it.
We go to jail.
The only way you go to jail, Craig, is if you're dumber than the cops. Come on. How often do you think these people go safe anyway? Months before they figure it out. Stuff's all insured anyway. It's not like they're out anything. He's a hard man. Harder than my father, man. Austere, you know? I never saw him smile. I don't think my father did either. That's the Menendez legacy. The recipe for producing great men. Look what you started, Grandpa. My father thinks I'm worthless. What do you think? I'm fine. It's always good to meet the dead Menendez first. Just like you have for the live ones. No, joking. Here, keep the change. Yes, thanks a lot. So this is where you live? When I can help. This place is a damn palace, man. That bad, huh? It's been, I could kill him. Down the iron stair.
each from his separate tent.
I told you this place is dangerous. This handsome madman is my brother, Eric.
Hey. Hi. Hey, it's cool. You know why you told me stories and stuff about me?
About all of men living in it. I even showed you Grandfather too. We're trying to figure out how to
It's nice to meet one of Lyle's friends.
It's a pleasure to be here, man.
Lyle tells me that you're in some of his classes. What are you majoring in? Mr. Miller?
It's Nick. My father. You know, it's funny. The first time I even called me that, I had absolutely no idea who he was talking. No, I don't think so. I don't think I ever get used to that. We see my father, he was very straight on this. Military background. Working on here, I guess.
I just wanted to know what you were planning to do with your life.
Yeah, it's kind of a very deep question.
That is not a right question to ask.
I asked him. He's a student.
Yeah. Do you have any plans, Mr. Miller?
This is my father, Dad. This is
Nick. Nick Miller.
This is crazy.
Is it crazy, Mr. Miller? No. That is what you're talking about. Give me any light you like to tell me something. The doubt is a very much free. It's never forget that it is always later than you think. Are you quoting something, Mr. Miller? The ninth commandment of success, sir. Delilah mentioned that it's one of the things. But you're mocking me, sir. Say that you don't. But you will. Trying to teach us some values. Not to be passed around your disreputable friends like some smutty joke I'll see in my study. Now.
Wasn't mocking him.
I'll tell him.
Do you believe me?
Lyle, it is never going to work between the two of you if you're as stubborn as he is.
It's not gonna work out, period. Haven't you figured that out yet?
Your father loves you so much. It's just he can't show. It's such a... And your brother really does admire him. But he can't ever let him know it.
I'm not going to argue with you. He's a fine mistake and you win. We're the friends and not frauds. And yes, I did check up on them. They come from good families.
Oh, because he was a good.
No, because he lies about it. You want him out of my house now. Not in the morning, not later, now. But I don't want you to see him again. Is that clear? Not here or in Princeton.
Sorry, yeah, that I'm not here. I don't care about that stuff. I don't care about that. You can't do anything about it. He says I can't see. Check. He says, yeah.
What did your daddy say? I can't do that either.
Sorry, I don't want you to go, man. I want you.
I know. With Lyle. I don't know if I'm the guy to tell you this. If you want some advice, you get the hell out of here too.
It'll be
I don't like
I see the way you and your father, the way you guys look at each other. It's like you guys, you're destroying each other. Like which one of you is gonna kill the other one first?
Anyway, so guys, thank you for joining us for this episode. Next time, we'll still probably be down here.
They both did. You got so bad with Carl, not Lyle, but Carl. Eric, yes, Eric. He it got to him so bad he told.
I know. Come on, it'll just take a second. I just want to show you something.
This man won't stop flying away. Then they ran out of batteries, went back out and finally got more batteries put in.
I stole it.
You stole it.
It was safe across.
I couldn't kill nobody. I don't care who it was.
It was perfect. I mean,
I don't
really
have
perfect.
that. I don't have that in me.
Weren't you afraid to get caught?
Really?
I want to do it. How much challenge to opening a safe? Put somebody to give you the combination. You want to see what you really made it? Do a real burger.
So, give us a like, thumbs up,
Eric, come up here. Now. Stupid kids.
I never done it before either. That's what happens when you got a lot of things in your mind.
This is really my son's.
You can do it. He just got that card. That's what David.
Kennedy brothers, right? Imbecile! You can make decent videos. You're both disgusting. It's just a joke, Dad. It wasn't his fault. I heard yelling at you. I assure you I'm not interested in your pathetic excuses. Now listen to me, both of you. I'm going to tell you exactly what's going to happen. And if not, I'm going for discussion. Go to the house. I appreciate how difficult matters can be. Privileged children in a situation like this, it's very upsetting. I can imagine. We struggle all around trying to give our children everything. It helps that they won't have to go through all that we have to go through as children. But maybe it would be better if they did. Maybe deprivation taught us something we're not allowing them to learn. But we don't serve the interest of justice by ruining the lives of two young men.
Or by letting a couple of spoiled kids walk like this.
Well, it's obvious that this is some sort of prank. As you say, my children are spoiled. They don't like for material possessions. They have no use for any of the things that they stole from those houses.
Get to the point, Mr. Menendez.
Can I speak to you alone? Of course. Right outside. We need a satisfactory resolution. Eric will plead guilty. He's a juvenile and will be treated accordingly. He'll be placed on probation after 2 years. When he reaches his majority, his record will be sealed.
As long as there are no other problems.
Understood.
I want Eric to see a psychiatrist.
He has some kind of adjustment problem.
And the other one?
All charges will be dropped.
Now, wait a minute.
He's going to Princeton, and he's not a juvenile. Do you understand what I'm trying to say?
I'll take it up with the DA. That's all I can do. And they're going to see a shrink. That's important.
It's very important. He'll be treated immediately.
Oh, Eric, hi. Oh, Mr. Menendez. Anything I can do for you?
Your house was robbed, sir.
Yes, it was. A couple weeks ago. Why?
We did it, Mr. Flynn. My brother and I did it. And we're going to return everything. And if anything was damaged, we will pay for it.
Dr. Ozil, the detective's name was Martin. Charles Martin, I believe. He characterized it as an adjustment problem. That is what I'd like you to address, if you could, so I could get back to him and tell him that's been taken care of.
You were involved in these burglaries as well, I understand.
Well, Eric was the only one
Yes.
who pleaded guilty.
He was. The doctor can't help him.
Yeah.
Dr. Ozil, we'd like to go and tell you everything.
It's really nothing to worry about. Everything that is said in this office is protected by the doctor-patient privilege.
The answer to your question is yes, I was involved in the burglary, but my father fixed it so it wouldn't be in my otherwise distinguished record. Any other questions?
Sit up.
I'm doing great, Dr.
Doesn't say anything. Dad doesn't say anything. Bomb's going to go off. A bomb in your head.
What are you all looking at? Look, it was only a burglary, all right? Nothing to worry about, nothing violent. I'm getting treatment, so thank you for your concern.
So he just decides to move. Find some house in Beverly Hills and that's it. We're out of there.
I mean, you tell me, is that normal?
You resent it.
I don't know whether I resent it.
It's just crazy, that's all. You don't know whether you resent it.
Look, I told you, I don't know.
Why don't we just talk about something else, all right?
Waste of everybody's time, isn't it?
Not mine. This is my job.
Waste of my time, then.
Is your time valuable?
No, that's why I'm here.
You don't think that getting some of these feelings out would be a benefit?
I think they brought me up.
No, Lyle, anything that you say to me in here just stays.
Yeah. It was a figure of
You're
speech.
right. Until we go to court and tell them.
How long do we have to keep this?
Well, the court order wasn't specific, but I'd say a good faith effort would be at least 6
Let's
months.
see if we can cut that short. The patient shows an inappropriate effect and diminished awareness of the reality of his position. He's activated almost exclusively, to the extent he's activated at all, by an intense loathing for his father. matched only by the intensity of his voting for himself. I, that doctor, a close examination of the evidence suggests the unresolved edible conflict with their classic mix from megalomania with the attendant episodes of self-doubt that usually attend these manifestations. The burglary scheme is self-destructive, fulfilling a deep felt need for punishment and humiliation, which in his case are richly deserved. How's that?
Perfect self-awareness. I bet you don't run into that too often either.
Not too often, no. And let's see how self-aware you are, Doc. You're in this with me, right? Why don't you just bill my parents for the next 6 months? Save us both of them.
This isn't about me, Mom. This is about
It was nice talking to you, Doc. I feel better already. I finished yours. Like you said.
Hello?
Let's get some lunch.
What are you doing here?
Hey, lighten up, man.
Come on, come around to the back before my father sees you.
He's here. I thought you
Well, he
said
didn't leave.
What's up?
Lyle, what are we...
What's going on?
Get off my property!
Get out of here!
All right. Going.
If I ever catch you around my boys again, I'm telling you that you're going to be very sorry. Do you understand?
Yeah, I tell you, he was a bitch. This wouldn't have friends or nothing. No, so
He had to go to the house because of him and morons like him. Do you understand?
So we all understand.
Look at me. If I ever get that kind of scum around
they
here
got
again, I'm
what they
telling you now.
deserve.
He didn't even know it was
Shut up.
Okay, well, yeah, so,
You disgusting.
personal orientation.
Get out of my way.
No, don't die. It was
Look at
like
the bright side.
confusing.
It's a terrific place, and we are definitely on the way. I don't know what the hell he wants from me. You haven't figured that out yet? He wants to destroy you, right?
I've tried everything. I worked my ass off on the swimming. I didn't win, so he pulls me off the team.
Now let's not talk about me.
I got 3 tears for us this summer. I bought the 4th one.
Scared to death, they might have you on
Gone.
camera.
Eric,
Yeah, follow.
we are experiments. It's clone the great
Only
Menendez.
spent about a month or so.
We're not
Don't say
working
that
out.
shit. I've never been in there going
What do you do if you're dead?
Dear God.
You cut your loss? You flush it? I think he's figured out he doesn't like fathering.
Now he
That's
says
not funny, John.
that I can't even be on the tennis team this fall.
Shit.
It says that I'm going to be living
That's
at
some
home.
serious bullshit.
I was going to be in a dorm out of here.
Don't remind me.
Can't ever let go. Sometimes it seems like his life is out if he could.
Of course he could.
The ball constricted, you know? Squeeze and let go. Squeeze and let
I
go.
thought your mouth. Oh, no.
Even way we're dead.
Oh, shit.
God,
Are you sure about this?
yeah, I'm sure.
But if they calm down and shut up, the only way. Got our whole lives at stake here. We've got to be able to protect ourselves. Yeah, I know we do, but if no, we've got to. We've got to.
Well, we're looking for protection around the house. I mean, what would I use? A shotgun?
You mean burglars?
Yeah, right.
You could use a shotgun. Let me show you something. It's a light, fast-action, well-made weapon.
Listen, stop burglars.
Shotgun like this? Oh yeah. It'll kill whatever needs killing.
All right, that one's fine. I'll take two of them.
I need your name, some identification.
Oh. Sorry. Nick Marin. Yeah. But before we go, why don't we get access to the store? We don't have to come. Wow. We always tell them we're going out. Okay, we'll tell them.
Frankly, I don't think it's a good idea. It's a movie, that's all. I don't think it's a good idea. Don't want you to
Come on, Mom, it's
You
Sunday.
heard what I said.
Give me one good reason.
I don't need to give you a reason. I don't want to argue.
Quit your arguing, please.
It's not like he's got school.
Why does everything I say have to be contradicted? I told you I don't want you going there, and I think that should be enough.
Don't avoid me, right? You heard her. She doesn't want you to go out and stay there. You're just meeting some people for her. You're not going anywhere. It's up to you. She wants you to stay with her, stay in. That's the only thing.
You under house arrest? Just want to go to
Yep. Yep, here we go. Not gonna wait.
Everything with Mary and Jeff is a crisis.
Yes, thank heaven they're all.
Oh, and they're 2 minutes late. Now, when they get here,
I won't tell you.
well, I guess it's time to start with something special you
Yeah.
like.
Go out and fill it up.
She's alive! Here. Come on! Come
Oh, please. You're the most wonderful mother and father in the world. Oh, man, I hope please. What do you Oh, thank you, Mother.
What we do know is that a 911 call was placed at about 10 p.m. this evening, and that this is the home of the Menendez family. Police spokesman will be giving a statement in about 30 minutes. From what we've been able to gather so far, the bodies of recording industry executive Jose Menendez and his wife Kitty were discovered by their two sons when the boys returned home tonight. One officer who spoke with us said off the record that the couple may have been shot as many as 20 times, but department spokesmen aren't confirming that for the time being.
I don't think this should get test retired. Make sure we go outside. I'd like to talk to you if you'd like to. Good one up? That's right. Tell me what happened. My brother and I went to a movie. We were going to meet some friends. Eric forgot his ID. So, driver's license?
No fake ID.
was underage. So we figured we'd order some drinks. No. We came back to pick it up. We found that.
Everybody see you at this movie you were at?
Batman's Century City. I'm sure someone did.
Shouldn't be any problem. Guys don't have any idea we might have wanted to do something like this to your parents.
My father's in the music business.
That was some of the accident side. He got them off drugs. I think that was a big deal to my father. He didn't like drugs, and I mean, he kicked the peelers out. You know. I sure think one of these guys might.
It's possible you ought to check. There might have been I don't know how you say it.
Are we looking at another mansion here?
He was shot 6 times.
Did you see it out there?
Yeah.
So what do you have? I mean, what can I tell the board? It's not a viable alternative.
You figure it out.
Look, detective, I've got to give them something. What do we have?
We got 2 dead bodies.
Yeah, he's
Come on, please.
there's that Ninja Turtle movie. Yeah. There's that dude.
What you want? You don't even know what you want. That's why you're in the state that
I
you're
know
in.
that you're really harder.
I really don't have time for this kind of nonsense.
You heard about the murders last night?
Here's one of idea.
You know who those people were?
Yeah.
Something like
Yeah,
this or
yeah,
something.
one for him.
My patients. Patients, it's plural, they're 2 sons. They're my patients.
No one is using the term execution. According to a copy of the medical examiner's report we've been able to see, that may be precisely what happened at the Beverly Hills home of record company executive Jose Menendez and his wife Kitty Sunday night.
This is the presidential. It's solid gold. I think you can safely say it's the ultimate watch.
I think you could say that. What do you think I could here to the mail service?
I don't know.
We'll take it. It's,
With tax, it will be slightly over 13,000.
of course. We'd also like to see something in stainless steel, you know, for everyday use. 2 of them. What did my father do? Let me read you a letter that he wrote me when I was away at school. I believe, he wrote, both you and Eric make a difference. I believe that you will. I encourage you not to select the easy road. I urge you to walk with honor, regardless of the consequences, and to challenge yourself to excellence. My father believed in excellence. He believed in accomplishment. Show me what you can do. That was my father's creed. That was how he brought us. Show him what we could do. And to believe in ourselves. It's one of the great things are possible for man daring enough to try. It's my father's legacy. We'll always be grateful to him for that. I loved him. I loved him very much. He was a great man.
Not me, was it?
I just want to thank all of you for coming.
I think about my dad, my mom, what could have been. With my mom, she was like, just see all of you here today. For her. Thank you. Thank you. Marge, what did you write with us?
Marcy, you said I would never be able to fill my father's shoes.
You make your own footsteps, Lyle. Don't be concerned with filling your father's shoes.
You don't understand. These are my father's shoes. Return with us now to the winning days of yesterday.
Really liked it here.
No problem, kid. Move some of the stuff back. Sell the others. Let somebody else clean up right off the walls.
So you decided where you're going?
At UCLA, I guess. They have a great tennis program. Dad kind of figured I wasn't going anywhere with swimming, but I don't know.
I think you ought to go there. You want to take your mind off things.
Yeah, definitely. You know, it's so unexpected that if you don't have time for the usual reaction, and, of course, it leaves me responsible for this day, Eric.
God, isn't that hard?
In a sense. On the other hand, I've been waiting so long to be in a position like this. This transition comes easy.
By the idea that it was a hit.
A mess like that. 2 in the head. Not a market.
Then what? Cooked?
I don't know. What do you think?
Bloody enough, but that's about it. What does that leave?
The kids.
Kids.
Yeah, he called the whole
You know, you guys ought to call maid service. Get this place cleaned up. I could get some numbers from my mom. You guys should hire a couple. You can take care of the grounds.
I don't know. You don't know about the grounds, you don't know if we need full-time help.
Both. You guys still eat? I thought we're supposed to play at 10 o'clock.
good.
We're not on standard time.
Can I get you anything, folks?
Maybe we can play some doubles. Wow, why did you say we don't need any help?
Because we might not be staying, that's why, Eric. I don't think this place is right. It's too big, it's out of the way. I'm thinking maybe an apartment, condo.
Wow, this is a great house.
Oh, so. But I like it here, Lyle. Place with a health club, tennis, pool. Nothing decided, but I'm looking into it. Enjoy your time. I'm working that for you.
Did you get all that? Is he for real or what? What are you talking about? He hasn't decided he's going to look into it. He's your brother, Eric, not your father. You don't know what you're talking about, so just shut up. He's just taking over. I said, shut up! Right, he's my brother. And I don't need you or anybody else questioning. Is that clear?
I was thinking of selling the computer, and I think I heard that even if I erase the file, someone would take it back.
That's right. See the way a file allocation table works?
All right, look, is there a way you can erase them so no one can get them back? I don't know if you know they were okay.
All you got to do is tell me what you want to raise.
Although police continue to trace the possibility that the brutal murders of record executive Jose Menendez and his wife Kitty in their Beverly Hills home was the work of organized crime, sources in the department admit they're coming up empty. According to these sources, the brutality of the killing seems inconsistent with a gangland.
want to get the hell off my property?
Keep rolling. We're just filing a story. You're Eric Menendez, aren't you?
Move the truck.
If you can answer a couple
No,
of questions.
no questions. Turn your cameras off.
Just a couple of questions, Mr. Menendez.
People are sick, you know that? Really ghoulish.
Yeah,
Something
both
I've
of them
suffered
guys
now.
got married in prison too.
Just how to do it.
Yeah.
In just a second, the program searches through erased files, active files, every inch of the disk. Wipes them out.
My age,
When you're done, you fix it so no one needs
she
it.
moves closer to him.
Lyle! Up here.
Married, nobody.
There's some reporter out front.
And
I know, I saw them.
You just let him stand there?
Just doing his job. What are you doing?
Lyle went through a couple of years.
Nothing. What are you doing?
Just finishing up.
It's done.
He went for life.
Clean as a whistle.
For life in prison. And then I don't even know why people marry people in
You'll take a
prison.
check?
Sure.
Yeah.
Another
Unless
scene
you
of
like
dead
that
pile.
kind of
Not at all.
prison life.
If there's anything else I can do.
Oh, wait.
There won't be.
Wow, what's going on?
Just making sure Dad hadn't started writing up any other wills. I'll never know now.
It's like, his wife, his blood.
I'm just going to see who it is.
Suit yourself. You got your own card.
Five.
555.
He killed his two kids.
No one is
Down the
available.
oil
Taking
change,
you long enough, please leave a message.
I'm doing research on that too. Everything I've seen about gangs and the place that was supposed to be haunted by his wife. I can't remember her name.
Awesome. Yes. Took the word right out of my mouth. And of course, there is the health club, 2 pools, squash and tennis courts. Is there anything else I can show you?
You know what's the matter with you? You're drifting. You got to pull yourself together. Lyle, I'm fine. You sure? Okay, I'll tell her we'll take the place. No. Dr. Oziel called the house. Maybe you and me, we should go see him.
Why would you do that?
Just to get some things straightened out. I mean, he says after something like this. We don't need that. We're not weak. Oh, I am. I can't get it out of my head. You think it helps to wallow. You need something to focus on it. Maybe you ought to get serious with your tennis. I'll see what I can set up. Concentrate! Lyle? I told Danny and Bob we were going to meet him at the theater. Where are you going? Princeton. I thought we weren't going to school. I already notified UCLA I wasn't enrolling.
I didn't say I was going to school. Princeton is a town, just a university. There's more there.
Like what?
Opportunity. The point is, I wasn't joking. You just didn't take me seriously.
It's just kind of hard to imagine you running a restaurant, Lyle. You've never even boiled yourself an egg.
Frank Lloyd Wright wasn't a good thing,
None. I don't have a point. I would do that. I'm sure you'll be a magnificent restaurateur. Really, I can hardly wait.
You don't have to. Watch. Coming? World to come. It's not just the brutality of it. My dad was such an irreplaceable man. He had a kind of drive, unique. He was a great man. He's my role model. He'll always be my role model.
A lot of our readers knew your father from when you lived here. They're concerned. They want to know how you're handling this tragedy.
There were initial hysterics. I mean, who would want to do this to my parents? Then after that night was over, I sort of entered into my dad's sort of mode. Kind of an ESP. I just took over his position in the family.
Come on, Eric, you gotta do something.
Why?
I don't know, I mean, jeez. Because my whole life I've been doing something. So maybe I don't want to do anything right now. All right. Take it easy. You know, you're right. You're right. Gotta do something, right? What would Dad say? Tennis. He'd probably suggest we go play some tennis. Not Eric. What, you didn't mean tennis? Fine. You said we write a script, right? Well, I got a million ideas. Just take it. Let's go with something else. You want to do something, we're going to write. What do you want to do? You want to do another murder? All right, now, cut it out. Oh, you're right. You're right. It's a bunch of crap, right? It's a bunch of fiction. God's sake. I mean, what do we need fiction for when we have real murders? You know that, don't you? Real murders. Real murders, Craig. Okay, take it easy. I don't know what happened. Mom and Dad were in the TV room. I was standing where it was cut. And he said, let's do it. He said, let's do it. We're looking for a younger clientele. That's what these lights are for. That's what the new banquets are. That means a lighter menu. Quick. It's not until you're stuffed. It's light, quick, and healthy. So hard for people here in the East Coast. Get fried, get cream sauces. Nouvelle cuisine, that kind of. That's the idea. But you don't have to think French. I want originality. This isn't a French restaurant. It's not an Italian restaurant. Write me up a list of dishes and let me see it. I know you're going to do it.
You advertise for waitresses?
I did.
Coming.
Morning. Just getting up?
I was supposed to meet you at the restaurant.
I know, but I finished practicing. We're having quite a party, aren't we?
Stop it. Wait.
What, and they just couldn't wait?
Look, They didn't have anywhere to stay. I slept on the couch.
Do you expect me to believe that?
It's up to you. Now I'm going to get dressed and we can talk on the way to the airport.
The airport?
I'm going back to California.
Tell me that.
I'm telling you now. That should be adequate.
She knows that they murdered.
I wish I had more to tell you. But so far, we haven't been able to turn up anything. I guess that happens sometimes, huh? It does. I was hoping that maybe now you have more chance to think about it, maybe you could do something.
No, I really don't see how we can help you.
I mean, your information would help. I mean, anything you guys could think of.
I've been busy. I just got back from Princeton. I started a business. If we had thought of anything before, we would have told you, wouldn't we?
You seem very interested.
I appreciate your concern. I have a lot to do, sir.
More important than catching the man who killed your parents?
I understand where you're coming from. It would be great if whoever did this went to jail. It doesn't really help us in any way, does it? Thank you.
You never driven a Porsche before, have you?
I have an Alpha, but you know that's just a piece of junk.
Nothing handles like a Porsche. There's nothing really comparable.
No, there isn't. You just do the paperwork, I'll write you a check.
It's kind of sickly, but he looks like it's gonna work. I know, it really does. It really looks like it's gonna figure it out. Oh man, it totally should have though. Go ahead.
Hello?
He escaped or something.
Hi, it's Jared Menendez. Hi, I thought about what you said. Of course.
No. Just so you guys know, I'm pretty sure you guys know the reason why.
No. If that's the way you feel, then the sooner we get together, the better. I'm not at the office. I had the calls forwarded. Be there in 10 minutes, 20 minutes. Yeah, Eric, that's what I'm here for. You need to talk. I'm here. Don't worry about that. I'll meet you at the office as soon as you come in. That was Eric. He's going to meet me at the office.
Yeah.
Tell me that he killed his parents. I see him. Eric? Thank God you're here.
He's not you here?
Do me a favor. Don't leave. You're here like you're waiting for one of the other doctors. If there's any trouble. He killed 2 people, Julian. So if you hear anything that sounds dangerous, you call the police. I better get back to my office. My life could depend on it, so I don't want you drifting off or fall. It's the elevator. Yeah, I thought I heard the door. Come on. She's waiting for another doctor here. I know how upset you are. We'll have all the time. Did you talk this over with your brother? Or did you decide to come here? No, I mentioned to him that I was thinking about you. He didn't think it was a good idea. Sleep. Are you having nightmares? I keep waking up. Dad's standing over me. He's all bloody. He's just standing there staring at me. I
I can make him go away. But if I try and go back to sleep, he comes back and so sick of crying and can we go outside or somewhere else besides here? You know, we killed the culture. It's a perfect crime. It was awful. His body's his blood, skin. But I just kept shooting.
He was a very controlling man.
I want to write a book about my father. Somebody should write a book about him. He was a great man. This guy's going to kill me. He doesn't want me to talk about it.
You'll have to tell him what you did.
No,
You'll have to. He'll know that you talked to him. You can't hide it.
Hello?
wow.
You're weak. That's what you are. You know, Brett.
Wow, I never.
You betrayed me! What the hell are you calling betray? You are just killed us. Did you know that?
Why did you that against you?
Dude! Now what are we gonna do? We have to kill him. You know that? Wait.
I can't tell anyone what he said unless you threaten. It's privileged, but not if you threaten me. That's not privileged. You're not going to tell anyone that.
I wouldn't do that. Why would I do that?
Help you. I'm trying to help you.
I mean, remember we had trouble with the burglaries? He helped us out.
So you just went and told him that.
I had to talk to somebody. I mean, I was going crazy. It's gonna be fine. It is. I'll just go see him a couple times and I'll be fine. We're at the best restaurant. If you get a chance to talk. You're gonna go back soon?
No. I'm going to stay an eye on you. He's a nice guy. He's a terrific athlete. He's smart. I like him a lot. I don't know what to tell you.
How do you get along with his parents? Did you fight a lot?
I guess. I'm sure. I don't know.
Did you ever hear him say anything about wishing that his parents were dead? Or anything like that?
Look, I'm not sure what I should say. I mean, I didn't talk to my dad or a lawyer or anything.
But are you under any apprehension that you're suspect in this case?
No, of course
Why
not.
would you need a lawyer?
I didn't say I needed a lawyer. I don't know, okay? He's a friend of mine, that's all. I don't want to say anything to get a friend in trouble.
What kind of trouble?
Look, I don't know what I'm supposed to do here. We're friends, that's all.
Friends. And friends do things together, no? Well, what kind of things did you do together?
I don't know. Tennis, swimming, we wrote scripts.
You wrote scripts?
One script really, that's all.
What was it about?
Just a movie script.
What was it about, Mr. Simonelli?
It was about a kid who kills his parents. Okay.
The patient exhibits no apprehension concerning the purchase of the shotguns, which he feels are untraceable because of use of false ID. Nevertheless, he seems, in general, to be in a deeply conflicted emotional state and has considerable difficulty expressing that conflict.
Aren't you going home tonight?
I haven't made up my mind.
Well, I'd really rather you didn't stay the night.
I wish you would be more positive about our relationship, Jill. These are not easy times. It's not easy. I'm in danger. You're in danger.
How can I be in danger? They don't even know who I am. Unless maybe they followed you here or something?
The patient's manner seems to be somewhat morose, which I attribute to the tension that he's been under. And from time to time, he expresses sentiments of remorse.
I appreciate your coming, Lila. I know how you feel about your brother talking to me. I just want to assure you that you couldn't be more wrong. That's not what he said you wanted to do. No, it's not. Look, I'm aware that you think I represent a danger to you, but the fact of the matter is you're a danger to me, and that danger has to be eliminated because I will not choose to live my life in fear. Neither did my father. But it seems to me that there is a way to eliminate that. I doubt it. I'm just going to turn that on. And I'd like you both to tell me in your own words exactly what happened the night your parents were killed. You're crazy, you know that? Come on, Eric. Look, what happens if the police break this case? Don't be in such a hurry. I can help you if you tell me what happened. Is there anyone else in a position to help you? Like I can? What are you talking about? Look, let's examine the dynamics of this situation. What are we all afraid of? You're afraid that I might tell the police what I know, and I'm afraid that you might kill me to keep that from happening. And that's not exactly a baseless fear. Get to the point is, what's going to happen if you get caught? Go to prison. You're kidding yourself. You go to the vestry. And I think I can stop that from happening. How? Because I'm your therapist. Because my testimony will help you avoid conviction on psychological grounds. At the very least, it'll keep you out of the dark. And the catch is this little recording. That's why I feel safe, knowing that you know that if anything happens to me, this will become public, and we have to look after ourselves. Lyle, this tape protects me. It could protect you. That sounds like a good proposition for all three. In the event you ever come to trial,
Anything that you say or tell this machine could be helpful. Help make it.
Mr. Signorelli, may I help you? I talked to my father and his lawyer. I said I should talk to you. He said Lyle was worried that there might have been another will. You know, his father might have changed the will or making changes. He checked his father's computer, but he couldn't find anything. Right? But he wasn't sure, so he hired a guy to come out to the house and erase everything.
Do you know who this guy was? The guy you hired?
No.
What else did he say?
He told me to shot him. He said Lyle handed him the gun, and they went in, and they ran to the room, and Lyle started shooting. He was shooting his father, and he looked at Eric and said, "Shoot, Mom." And he did.
Look, I'm tired. I just want to go to bed. No, I don't want to take anything. I'm just going to go to sleep. Okay? No, it's not going to work. I don't want to see you. Why can't you just accept that?
So working?
Top of the lemon.
You know what you're gonna do, right?
You've been coming about 2 years now? What do you think? Is my game getting any better? Yeah. I used to beat you once in a while. Exactly. Now we're just gonna find the right time. I'm ready. Listen, Eric, I gotta tell you. Please call me and you're asking a lot of questions. You didn't say anything to him, did you?
Sure, right. I told him to kill the dogs.
You better not.
Did you?
No.
I pulled up some images for you.
I'm trying to talk to you. Open the door. I know what you're thinking. You want to go to the police. But you can't do that through the line. You've got to listen. You can't do that. Bring it on. You'll be killed. That's not by me. You'll be killed.
There's some good news for you. You ready? Found a great tournament for you. Get your game back on track. It's in Israel. Wow, I don't know. I mean, I thought I was ready. It's the best thing for you. You have a chance to get away for a little while. I'm giving this a lot of thought, Eric.
Maybe you're right. Maybe it's what I should do.
Good. I'll leave the day after tomorrow.
Can I please have the number for the Beverly Hills Police Department? Get me the Beverly Hills Police. I'd like to speak to somebody about the Menendez murder, please.
Detective Arguello.
Eric and Lyle Menendez killed their parents. They confessed to the therapist, and he thought no one came. Can someone please come and get me?
You're almost here? I'm Detective Arguello. This is a warrant for all papers and records, including but not limited to audio tapes of your treatment of Joseph Lau Menendez and Eric Galen Menendez.
Well, it is true. I do feel kind of funny putting it on the market. Doesn't make much sense holding on to it, does it? I just don't like it anymore. They did do a good job of cleaning up though, didn't they? Anyway, I gotta go. All right, talk to you later.
Yeah, I'll take the call. Too late.
And I'm dead. See you, man. Have a right? Turn around. I'm placing you under arrest for murder, Katie. Sam Menendez. You have a right to remain silent. You wait this right, anything you say can and will be used against you in the court of law.
Are you from the restaurant? Israel and Tony.
All right, take everything out of the box and put it on just list.
What's this? Something I need.
Well, what is it?
Space. Where herpes.
Hey, guys. This guy's wearing a rug, man.
Detective Arguello, in case I'm arrested and murder of your parents. You have the right to remain silent and waive this right. Anything you say can and will be used against you in the court of law.
Well, you can't talk now. They're probably listening. You think it's going to be okay? You believe what they're asking for? Lau wears a rug.
Should kill him for?
I don't know. It's not involved. The jail's got a regulation, no hair pieces. His lawyer's asking for permission for him to wear the rug in court and any public appearances.
And what's the regulation on that?
No one seems to know.
I said you're drunk.
It makes me think it's not all going to be this easy.
You've both been charged with 2 counts of murder. Both charges carry the special circumstances for which you could be sentenced to death. Eric Galen Menendez. How do you plead?
Not guilty, Your Honor.
Joseph Lau Menendez. To the charges in the amended indictment. How do you plead?
Not guilty.
Alright, so let's have a left 12, guys. We're just kind of, doing some Pokemon training.
Given the choice, would you rather be good or lucky?
I'd rather be done.
Remember the woman said, Oziel said, they said,
Oziel said they said.
Judalon Smith. She said that Dr. Oziel said that Lyle and Eric bought the guns in San Diego under an assumed name.
Sure, but what name? She didn't know that.
I do. Ray Arguello does. He went down to San Diego, gunshot to gunshot. And the second one he goes into, he finds a sales slip, 2 months.
What are months?
Shotguns, 2 of them, the Friday before the killings, in the name of Nicholas Marin, who happens to have been Lyle's best friend from Princeton, who happens to have been working in a restaurant in New York City that whole weekend, who happens to tell Arguello when he calls that he lost his wallet the last time he saw him.
Lester, that's incredible.
Yes.
had a client go to the gas chamber yet. She ever had plans to go up and pull out the shotgun. You don't know Leslie Abramson. Just watch. There she is.
Miss Abramson! Miss Abramson! Are you going to be able to
Leslie Abramson, attorney for Eric Menendez, refusing to comment on the appeals process that's been dragging on for almost a year and a half. At stake, whether a jury will ever hear the confessions Lyle and Eric Menendez allegedly made to Beverly Hills psychologist Jerome Oziel.
That's Cinderella. Eric confessed to him we shot mom and dad, and he doesn't say anything. And maybe they played chess later that evening. I'll the witness.
I don't know what we've got. We're gonna make the kid look awful on the cross.
What about the shrimp?
Well, he won't even talk to us until there's a ruling on the privilege, which will be at least 6 months.
And then an appeal if it goes against him. It's just not coming together.
Yeah, what is it?
Excuse me, they told me I find Detective Arguello here.
Yeah, it's me.
My name's Gerald Brownstein. Lyle Menendez hired me to erase some files from his father's computer.
It's been 2 years now since Lyle and Eric Menendez were arrested for the shotgun murders of their parents
It's
in the
been 2
TV
and a
room
half
of their
years
building.
since Lyle and Eric Menendez
It's
were
been over
arrested for
3
the
years since
shotgun
Lyle and Eric Menendez were arrested for the shotgun murders of their parents in the TV room of their Beverly Hills home. 3.5 years since the killings. Defense and prosecution alike await a Supreme Court ruling, expected any day now, on whether or not a supposed confession they made to psychologist L. Jerome Oziel can be introduced at the trial.
Are you surprised the court voiding the doctor-patient privilege?
Apparently threats were made. When a patient claims a doctor, there's no privilege.
Did they confess to Oziel?
We haven't studied the doctor's notes. We just got the ruling. Now, if you'll excuse us, we've been waiting 3 years to read these notes.
Let me ask you now, the court won't let you use the tapes of their session with the doctor. Is that a victory for the defense?
I wish we had the tapes so the jury could hear what they said in their own voices, but we will have Dr. Oziel's testimony, and we believe that the doctor will be a very substantial witness.
When do you plan on using Oziel?
I can tell you quite clearly that I intend to attack the credibility of Dr. Oziel in every area known to man and God.
How do you plan to attack his credibility, please?
This is fantastic. They told him it was a perfect murder. They wanted to commit the perfect crime.
They only killed the mother because they couldn't find a way to kill him without killing her. This is incredible stuff.
And we've got his notes. He'll testify to what they said. It's just as good.
How the hell are we going to defend this?
On August 20th, 1989, Lyle and Eric Menendez killed their parents. They didn't do it for money. They didn't do it to commit the perfect crime. They didn't do it out of hatred. It was done out of fear. They were abused psychologically, physically, sexually. These boys perceived that their parents were about to kill them. They reacted with pure panic, pure terror. They killed in self-defense.
This is it. This is the big day. This is when it all happens. By 6 o'clock this morning, there was already a line out in front of the courthouse in Van Nuys where the trial of Lyle and Eric Menendez begins today. 2 juries have been selected, one to hear the evidence against each brother.
Now, in regards to Mr. Menendez, how many individual wounds did you document in your autopsy report?
6.
Now, this first wound that you documented, a wound to the back of the head, could you tell us about that?
That is a contact wound. The muzzle of the weapon was placed directly in contact with the body. In this case, the scalp. So that the entire load of the shotgun shell pellets water entered the head. I also recovered pellets along with the water.
Referring now to the autopsy you performed on Mary Louise Menendez, your report indicates that you identified 10 separate areas of wounding. Is that correct?
That's correct.
Now, referring to Mrs. Menendez, beginning with her number 1.
This is a shotgun wound to the head, particularly the left cheek.
This is also a contact lens. The barrel of the gun was placed directly to the cheek of the deceased.
And on the afternoon of August 18, 1989, do you recall making a sale of 2 Mossberg 12-gauge shotguns?
Yes,
And did you require identification of the purchaser?
yes, he presented a driver's license. The name on the license was Nick Mariner.
Mr. Mariner, did there come a time when you visited Lyle Menendez in his home?
Yes,
And could you tell us how that visit ended?
I was asked to leave.
By Lyle Menendez?
Yeah, by Lyle, yeah.
And after you left, did you notice that you had left something behind?
Yeah, I got my wallet.
Did you actually sell Rolex watches that day to these defendants?
Yes, I did. I sold them 3. The total of the sale came to $15,039.40.
And the person who bought this car, do you see him in the courtroom today?
At the defense table, in the blue sweater.
Indicating the defendant, Lyle Menendez. What specifically did Lyle Menendez say regarding wanting to see this penthouse?
They just wanted to see the largest unit that was available.
What was the sale price of that?
He said that they ran to the door, the TV room, and Lyle went up and put his shoulder up against the door on the right. Eric said he looked in, saw his parents sitting on the couch, and Lyle swung open the door and shot his father and looked at Eric and said, "Shoot not."
Isn't it a fact, Mr. Signorelli, that when you first told this story to Detective Arguello, you told him that Eric did not shoot his mother when he walked into the room, that although his brother said, "Shoot, Mom," he couldn't do it?
That's great.
And is that still what you're telling us was Eric's statement, or has that changed?
I believe that that's still his statement.
Thank you.
There's a kind of opening night excitement here today as the state attempts to put the finishing touches on its case. If the lines for seats in the crowded courtroom were a bit longer than usual this morning, it's because the 2 juries will finally hear from Dr. L. Jerome Oziel, the Beverly Hills psychologist to whom the Menendez brothers allegedly confessed. The defense spent 3 years in court fighting to keep Dr. Oziel's testimony from being heard. Today, the jury will hear it.
I recall Eric talking at length about how, once the plan was formed, that it was impossible to alter the plan and still have it be perfect as a murder, come up perfectly. And even though they had the doubts as to whether it in fact was appropriate, whether it was reasonable, fair, whatever, to have the mother included in the murder plan. But still, they couldn't determine any other way to kill the father.
Did Eric Menendez specifically tell you that one of the reasons why he had to kill the mother is that she would be a potential witness?
Oh, objection to the leading, Your Honor.
Overruled. You may answer. That's correct.
Did Eric Menendez describe to you, in particular, what it was that he was upset with his father about?
Well, basically that the father had just been completely dominating, controlling, impossible to please. They saw the father as someone who was pretty much impossible to live with.
Your Honor, I'd move to strike. It's not the defendant's words.
Overruled. The answer will stand.
Dr. Oziel, did there come a time when Lyle Menendez arrived at your office?
He did.
And could you please describe his demeanor when he came into your office?
He was extremely upset, threatening, menacing.
Menacing?
So I felt there was a strong threat to my life.
And did you tell either Lyle or Eric Menendez that you had this fear?
Yes, I did.
And what was the response?
From Lyle, he left.
And did either Lyle or Eric ever tell you he'd been sexually abused?
No.
And did either of them ever tell you that he acted in self-defense?
No. We'll take a short recess at this time. Both juries are excused. They should return to the courtroom in 20 minutes. Counsel, please remain. I have just a few remarks before we continue. The remark has to do with the
conduct of counsel during the questioning of the witness, specifically that of Miss Abramson, and mugging to the audience during the testimony of the witness. If the prosecution would do the same during the testimony of one of your witnesses, how would you react to that?
As long as it wasn't in front of the jury, it wouldn't matter to me.
The counsel, the jury is right behind you and to your left.
The jury can't see what I'm doing.
I could see your eyes rolling when you're facing the witness.
The jury can't see that either.
There is a jury in the jury box that could easily see what you're doing. Now, is there
I
some?
will try.
No, not try. You will succeed in not mugging for the jury, not making faces to the audience. You will behave professionally. Is that clear?
Yes, of course. Did you ask your lover, Miss Judalyn Smith, to come to your office on October 31st in order to eavesdrop on your therapy session with Eric and Lyle Menendez that day?
Actually, it was quite the contrary.
Well, can you answer that question, yes or no, Dr. Oziel?
I don't think I can.
You can't answer that? Did you ask her to be there?
No, I didn't.
Oh, there you go. Now, you knew Miss Smith quite intimately. How would you describe her mental condition? Would you describe her as a stable person?
No, I wouldn't.
Well, she sued you, didn't she? Objection, Your Honor.
Sustained.
Now, in fact, you told your unstable girlfriend details from your therapy session with Eric and Lyle Menendez. Isn't that right?
Would you like to ask me why?
No, I would like to ask you what I would like to ask you, and that is what I just asked you. Can you answer it?
Yes, I told her.
And isn't it true that one of the reasons for your testifying the way you did about threats from the defendants was to justify the fact that you told your unstable girlfriend patient secrets, and your license as a therapist was already on probation, and you were concerned about that?
Miss Abramson, I'm sure.
Is that what happened?
You can answer the question, sir. No, that isn't what happened.
The defense may have scored a few points today, raising questions about the credibility of the state's key witness, but they still face an uphill fight, a fight literally for the lives of Lyle and Eric Menendez, who face the gas chamber for the shotgun slayings of their parents, a fight that won't be resolved until the defendants take the stand themselves and tell their side of the story.
Spelling your last name?
Joseph Lyle Menendez, Menendez.
Menendez, are you related to Eric Galen Menendez, who seated him?
It's my brother.
And were your parents Mary Louise Menendez and Jose Menendez?
Yes.
Did you love your mom and dad? On August 20th, 1989, did you and your brother kill your mother and father?
Yes.
Did you kill them for money?
What's your answer?
No.
Did you kill them because you wanted to pay them back for the way they had treated you?
No.
Why did you kill your parents?
We were afraid. After sports practices, he would massage me. He would show me. He would fondle me and ask me to do the same to him.
How long did this happen?
Not too long. Began to change and became more involved.
What do you mean more involved?
Put me in the bathroom. He would
I think they use that
put me on my knees.
live for an excuse to try to get out of it.
He guided me. All my movements. Would have oral sex with him.
He's trying so hard to cry.
Use objects. Some sort of shaving utensil of brush.
And was there some point when he decided to use something besides the toothbrush?
Yes.
You're right. Did you cry?
Yes.
Did you bleed?
Trying hard, ain't he?
Yes.
Were you scared?
Very.
He's definitely trying. Yeah. Another in for it.
Eric was crying, basically shaking. And I asked him what was the matter. He was crying. And I told him, you can tell me, what is it? He told me things about his dad that were going on. Things like that happened to me, that were still going on. I felt maybe he was going to try and kill himself. And I told my dad that I knew everything that was going on between him and Eric and that it had to stop.
And what did he say?
He said, what I do with my son is none of your business. And he said, I warn you, don't throw your life away. And he said, let me tell you what's going to happen. You're going back to Princeton, and your brother's going to UCLA like we planned, and we're going to forget this conversation ever took place.
And when you finished talking, what happened?
I interrupted him. He didn't get to finish talking. I swore it. I told him that he was sick, and that no, he wasn't going to touch my brother again, and that I would tell everybody everything about him. I would tell the police, and I would tell the family. I was just out of control. And he leaned back and said, we all make choices in life, son. Eric made his, and you've made yours. And he just looked at me and got up to leave.
What did you think?
I thought, oh my God, I just made it 100 times worse.
What did you think was going to happen?
I thought we were in danger. I thought he had no choice.
What?
He would kill us. I spoke to my brother and he said, oh God, they're going to kill us. We agreed we had to protect ourselves. We had to go get some guns.
Did you go to get guns?
We went to the store in Santa Monica, this Big Five, the sporting goods store. We went there to buy handguns that we could carry around.
Lay down and get
We weren't
down.
able to do that because there was a waiting period for handguns. We had to wait 2 weeks.
Could you tell us what happened then?
Well, we drove around, talked about it. We drove down to San Diego. We bought shotguns there because there wasn't a waiting period for shotguns. And that was a Friday. We tried to stay away from them all weekend. And Sunday night, I thought maybe we'd go out, because we'd be safe if we were out of the house. And we went to tell my parents we were going to a movie. My mom said no, that we couldn't go out.
What did you do?
And my dad sort of pushed her aside. He spoke to my brother and told him to go upstairs to his room and wait for him. And I said, no, you're not going to touch my brother. He was just ignoring me, telling him to go upstairs and wait for him. My mom said something to me about I had ruined the family. They went into the den and they closed the door.
What did you think was going to happen?
I thought they were going ahead with their plan to kill us.
Then?
Yes. So I ran upstairs and I said to Eric, what's happening?
What did you do?
Got my gun.
I'm trying to point your brother out so it works.
He got his.
What?
Where did you go?
Chicken.
We ran to where he had the ammunition, which was in my brother's car.
Sure? Yeah.
Did you load your gun?
I did. And we ran into the room, into the den, and we started firing. I don't know who was firing at who, what was going on. Firing.
Do you remember firing the very close shot at your friend? And at some point, was your gun empty?
Yes. And I could see somebody moving, so I reloaded.
You reloaded? Is that yes? And what did you do after you reloaded?
Ran around and shot my mom.
And was that the last shot that was fired? Is that yes?
Yes.
There's no question in anyone's mind that Lyle Menendez, after 4 days of riveting testimony, has completely changed the tone of his trial. how he'll withstand cross-examination? That's what we'll find out today. Mr. Menendez, you heard the tape played in this courtroom with your call to the police to 911.
Yes, I did.
And on that tape, you told the police you had just come home and found your parents. Is that correct?
I think I said someone killed me.
You were lying to them, weren't you? And they asked you a number of questions, and you were lying to them in your answers, weren't you? And you were crying, weren't you? You can hear yourself crying on the tape. You were lying while you were crying. Is that correct? Did you love your parents, Mr. Menendez? Did you love your mother? When you placed the shotgun against her left cheek and you pulled the trigger, is that an act of love, Mr. Menendez?
Confusion, fear.
You were afraid of her at that point?
Yeah.
Where was your mother at this point?
She was, my memory's not good. I think I remember she was like, around the side of the parking.
And what was she doing?
In my mind, she was sneaking around talking to me.
You just said your mother was sneaking. Is that correct? You just used that term, sneaking? And did you think she was going to do something sneaky to you when she was crawling behind that coffee table? Your mother wasn't sneaking, was she? She was trying to get away from being shot to death. Well, tell me, Mr. Menendez, what threat did your mother pose to you when you ran out of the room to reload?
Nothing I can remember in my mind.
And how many rounds did you put into your shotgun?
16.
So what were you afraid of, Mr. Menendez? Were you afraid that your mother might live? I don't know. I just think he's cute. I kind of feel sorry for him.
Thank you. Let's move over here. What about you? What brings you to the courthouse so early in the morning?
Well, Eric's going to testify, and I just wanted to be here to show my support. I mean, I haven't heard him, but I've been watching him on TV, and I don't know. I think he's sexy.
With the court's permission, Eric Menendez will be sedated when he takes the stand in his own defense. His emotional state is apparently quite tenuous, and the defense is afraid he won't be able to take the strain of testifying.
Eric Menendez.
And your father would massage you?
Yes.
Like he massaged you when you were swimming?
Similar. He would have me strip off my clothes until I was just wearing my underwear.
And when you were 6 years old, did the massages change in character in any way?
Yes.
And what was the change?
He had me take off my underwear. He would turn me over on my back. He would massage my genitals.
Was he using his hands?
Yes.
At some point after that, did you start doing something else?
Massage me with his mouth. He came into my room and he told me to kneel down on my bed. And I did. And then he came over to my bed and he threw me off the bed. Told me to kneel on the floor. And I was real confused because he just told me to get on my knees on the bed.
So did you kneel on the floor as he ordered you to do?
Yes.
Okay. What happened next?
He was unbuckling his pants. And in some way, either by his hand on my head or by told me what he wanted me to do.
And what was his demeanor? What was he like at this time?
He was rough. And he was angry. And at one point, I started screaming and I started saying, "Stop! It hurts! It hurts!"
No.
No.
How did you react?
Just sort of died off. Just sort of left myself. I just pretended that it wasn't happening.
And how old were you when this happened?
I was 13.
Now, you got your guns, you and your brother. You loaded your guns. Why didn't you just wait for your father and mother to come out of the room?
Because I was thinking they were coming out. I only thought I had seconds. I thought that that as soon as they came out of the room, I was going to die. So I had to get to that room before they came out.
What would have happened if they came out?
Objection, speculation.
Who ruled? Who may answer?
I thought that they were going to take my gun. It was this stupidly big thing, and it was just. I thought they were going to grab it. I remember thinking, they're going to get it. They're going to get this.
Now, after you ran into the den, what do you remember happening?
Just remember firing.
Did you aim in any particular place?
Just right in front of me.
And what was in front of you?
I was right in front of the coffee table.
But what was in front of you?
The coffee table.
You came into the room. You moved to the coffee table. Am I not understanding what you're saying?
I was just firing as I came in the room. I just started firing.
In what direction?
In front of me.
And what was in front of you?
My parents.
Well, guess we have to.
I want to take you back to the Friday before your parents were killed, Mr. Menendez. Now, you testified that you and your brother decided to get guns. Did you discuss what kind of guns?
Stop.
Any handguns.
At some point, did you decide where you were going to make this purchase?
Yes, and that's when we drove to the sporting goods store.
The Big Five store in Santa Monica.
Yes.
And you took a look at handguns.
Yes.
When you were looking at these guns, was your brother right there with you?
Yes, sir.
You weren't trying to hide anything.
No.
So he was right there with you at the counter looking at these handguns.
Yes.
Were they in a glass case or were they up on a wall?
They were in a glass case. It's a 2-shelf container. I believe so. And there were the guns on top.
But at some point, you picked out a handgun that you thought was appropriate, right?
Yes. And that's when he told us that we had to, that there was some sort of waiting period.
Now, you're telling the truth about everything in this case, aren't you?
I'm telling the truth to the best I can.
And you wanted handguns so you could protect yourself. And you went to the Five store in Santa Monica to buy these handguns.
Definitely. Without a doubt, I did.
Mr. Menendez, did you know that Big Five stopped carrying handguns in March of 1986?
No, I don't know that. Mr. Kuriyama, there were guns there, and we did look at them.
Does this appear to be the area of the coffee table that's shown in that photograph on the board?
Yes.
Can you see what that is that was next to your mother? The letters?
Registration. Registration for UCLA.
And in fact, it says UCLA there right on the card.
Yes.
Now, you testified that your mother was going to kill you that night, correct?
Yes.
And that's still your belief?
Still my belief to this day.
Yes.
Well, if I knew that they didn't have any weapons when I walked in the room, I would not have walked in the room. I don't know what my belief is to this day.
Now, if your mother had been planning to kill you, Mr. Menendez, why would she have been filling out your application for UCLA?
It's clear at this point that the defense is based on the mental condition or state of mind of the defendants at the time of the shootings. The law is clear that when the defense posits mental condition or state of mind, the prior therapeutic history of the defendants is admissible. Accordingly, I am reversing the California Supreme Court ruling in this case and will allow the jury to hear the tape recording of the defendant's December 11th, 1989 session with Dr. L. Jerome Mosio.
I really think that there just wasn't really a family. And she was so drained from learning about my father's affair because I was listening in the next room, and months and months I would have to listen to my mother crying in the house. And I still think my mom's dead. Suicide.
She had given us permission to please carry out our sins. My father should be killed, there's no question. What he's doing is he's impossible to live with. It's almost that he raised us to be able to handle doing this thing, that we could deal with it. Because he trained us like basic training. There's no way I was going to make a decision to kill my mother without Eric saying. I just let him sleep on my mother and my father were two people that I loved. Doesn't matter what they were, what they actually were. I understand why it was done. That's it, you see? I think one of the biggest pains he has is this having been thrown around. I had a dog once, and I decided having my dog in the
At the time, people of the state of California rested their case in chief. This was a murder trial. As soon as the defense began, it became anything but a murder trial. But I am here to tell you today that now you have to concentrate on the murders of Jose and Mary Louise Menendez. Lyle Menendez gets on the stand and he gives a stellar performance. He cries at the appropriate times. It's a great show. But keep in mind, it is the best defense Daddy's money could buy. The defendants were the only ones who told you what Jose Menendez was like. We had his sisters, his brother-in-law, his friends, people who knew him. We had teachers and coaches. And I've made a list of words they used to describe him. He was belligerent, manipulative, powerful, rude, nasty, never satisfied, had a cut you to shreds tone of voice, was aggressive, frightening, intimidating, cruel, harshest person ever met. He had to win. He was overbearing, confrontational, demeaning, abusive, sadistic, sarcastic, controlling, fake, secretive, demanding, cold, competitive, arrogant, angry, and belittling. How many people do you know would fit that description? And would you let them raise your child? After a lifetime of terror, these children were frightened. After a lifetime of threats, these children felt threatened. It may be hard for you to believe that these parents would have killed their children. But is it so hard to understand how these children believed that their parents would kill them? It is hard sometimes to look at pain and we look away. We close our eyes in movies. We don't read the newspaper. We don't watch the news. I ask you now not to turn away from the pain, and to see it for what it was and what it did to Lyle Menendez. I ask you to return verdict of guilty of involuntary manslaughter. For all the children who have been beaten within an inch of their lives, for all the children who have been scalded with hot water as punishment, who have been burned with cigarettes, who have been locked in rooms for days at a time, years at a time, and not fed, this defense is an offense. And for those children who got out of the house and made lives for themselves and became productive members of society, this defense is an offense.
The defendant and his brother viciously and mercilessly attacked their parents on the night of August 20th, 1989. The defense has been no less vicious and merciless to them in this trial. They have made obscene accusations, misleading claims, and outright lies about their parents. It cannot be easy to defend themselves.
It's very easy to go to a crime scene of a homicide and take a lot of gruesome pictures and parade them in front of a jury. But where is the picture of Jose Menendez bending Eric over the footboard of his bed when the child is 12 years old so the father can now go all the way in spite of the child's screams? Well, there is such a picture. But unfortunately, it only exists in Eric's mind now. I'd ask you to indulge me and to indulge Eric as you're deliberating in this case, and to just try to concede, because I can tell that some of you are very resistant to what I'm saying. I'm not blind and I'm not stupid, but you owe us as jurors one thing only, that you must entertain the possibility that we are telling the truth. And you must also try, however foreign to you it may be, to put yourself in Eric Menendez's shoes in order to understand if he did what he did for the reasons we say he did. And if we have raised, through our evidence, a reasonable doubt that malice was present, or a reasonable doubt as to whether or not they were acting in the heat of passion, or whether or not they were acting in fear, then they lose, we win, and it can be no more than manslaughter. Eric became my client 3.5 years ago. There's no way you can go back and share the experiences of a 19-year-old, which is what he was at the time, without getting more than somewhat professionally involved. And I admit to that. I admit to an enormous bias in favor of this client. In those early days, I was the only person he had. And I've had him in my hands for all this time. And now, I have to give him up to you. There really is good and evil in this world. There really is. There are really good people and bad people. And sadly enough, given where we are, Eric Menendez is a good person who did a bad thing. And you cannot judge the sinner by the sin alone, because you will never know what to call the sin unless you look at the person who did it.
All right, we've got 4 choices on each count. That is, each parent, the killing of each parent. We can find Mr. Eric Menendez guilty of first-degree murder, 1 or both counts, second-degree murder, 1 or 2 counts, voluntary manslaughter or involuntary manslaughter, 1 or both counts.
Or not guilty.
Yeah, we need to forget about that. We can't find them not guilty. The judge made that very clear. I mean, they shot them, so they have to be guilty of something. So, let's start with first degree. How many think it was first degree? What the hell is this? First degree murder. Of course it was first degree murder. They shot them.
After what those people did, I would have shot them myself. Manslaughter. How many votes? I would say we have a lot to talk about.
What do we know? We know the parents didn't have weapons. They weren't trying to kill him.
Lyle thought they were. That's what matters.
He says, is there any reason we have to believe him?
He was on the stand almost 2 weeks. They cross-examined him like I never heard of anybody being cross-examined.
He was lying, but
Of course he's lying.
You know that.
Yeah, I know that.
Beyond a reasonable doubt? No one could listen to all that testimony and not have doubts.
I don't.
look at this. Look what he did. That's murder. That's first degree murder.
Take that down. Look at that. You're saying Lyle wasn't abused. How can you say that?
He confessed to his therapist. How come he never mentioned it?
Well, did you talk about something like that? Raped and sodomized and everything else?
If I told someone I killed 2 people, I'd damn well tell them why.
Sick and tired of hearing that Eric shot them. We know he shot them. Why? Why? That's the question. Listen to him. They all made up their minds before the trial.
Oh, listen to you. That little bastard got up there and cried. You all cried right along with us.
Oh, real men don't cry? That's sick. That's just sick.
Who does it remind you of?
Jose.
You want premeditation? You heard it on that tape.
And who made that tape? Ozil. Do you trust that man?
I don't trust him. I think he's worth the tape.
Listening. I'll tell you what I was listening to. Bam, 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 bam. I heard shots go close. I heard that. What? It just went over your head or something?
It certainly went over yours. Why does it take so many shots to kill 2 people?
Because he panicked, like he said.
It was that man did to him?
You don't know what he did.
I know what my father did. I know how it...
This ain't about your father.
I know an abused child when I see one.
And like,
This was abused. It has come to this court's attention that in spite of re-instruction to deliberate, this jury has come to a deadlock.
I give up. Let's, I don't know, split the difference. Look, I mean, the father abused him. We give you that. Manslaughter for the father, murder one for killing him.
No, we can't do this. That's not a verdict, it's a lie. None of us believe it. Do you think God planned against me?
Planned it all the way.
But you're gonna vote manslaughter. And you don't think he planned it, but you're gonna swear he did. You're gonna swear he planned it. No, I'm not.
One way or another, it was our job to end this thing, and we didn't do it.
It's soluble.
what the hell is he doing? Smiling? You know? Another hung.
It's gonna happen. I can't even picture that. Like, they have some crazy mods. I
Y'all know what time it is. Get in the building. Shout out my Robin Hoods. Shout out my goddamn little ones. We are the best. Y'all know the rest. Cali.
Sorry, but I can't have that because he might. Because he might flag me. So no.
Nice. I just won $50. I have money on that fight.
There's Manson Eric Mendanda's YouTube channel. Hey, has he got a YouTube channel?
Check it out.
Hell yeah. Hell yeah, he does. I gotta subscribe to that.
Are you serious? He killed his parents.
I know, but he can't get to me. But there's his house, the house too. Wow. I didn't know he had a channel. And he's got 21,861 views.
Hi everyone, hope you're having a wonderful week. So before I get into what I wanted to discuss today, I want to first begin by again thanking all of you for the most touching and encouraging letters, not only from around the United States, but from many other countries. It's really amazing and impactful. So many of you write and write such kind and supportive words, stories. So it's very touching, and I want to thank you again for that.
That's crazy.
Now, some of the questions that I'm asked a lot about is about my current life in prison. Essentially, I think what you're asking is, who am I today?
you've seen a bunch of videos or stories or documentaries of my past, but what interests me today, what am I like today, what do I do with my day, is what I'm getting a sense from a lot of you guys have done. And obviously there's a lot that people don't know about what I do in my life today, what I do in person.
Oh, shit.
One of the examples is that, well, there are a few major activities that I'm passionate about and that I really enjoy pouring my energy into most days of the week and every week. So I was going to talk to you about that. And in no particular order, mention three. So,
this call and your telephone number will be monitored and recorded.
One is my meditation class. It's called Insight Meditation. Now, when you hear the word meditation, people have different opinions and think different things. And some of you may not even be sure what meditation really is. But I began meditating many years ago to help with the stress inside prison. Because prison can be a stressful, traumatic place.
That's crazy. I ain't never heard nobody have their own
So
channel in prison.
with that, and for me to deal with
That's the craziest shit I ever seen.
really
First time I saw
the
that.
struggles that I go through in prison, and it used to a lot more when I was younger. I got into the practice of meditation, and it really helped. It made a huge impact on my life. So I'm a big proponent of meditation. I believe that it's an important part of our spiritual and emotional growth. Certainly, it
I
has
wonder
been
why
for
his
me.
brother don't have a channel. He might have.
So,
Who knows?
if any of you meditate, I'd love to hear about that. Two, I've become fully involved with an organization called AVP, Alternatives to Violence Project. The AVP was started, it's a project that was started by the Quakers in New York in the 1970s. And it's really expanded, exploded into this larger international organization.
Especially on
But the base of the program is participants in this program essentially explore ways to channel emotions in peaceful and non-violent means, which in a prison setting, when you have people that have been incarcerated for wrongdoing, it's a big deal for guys to learn how to channel these the emotions they have, frustration and anger.
That'd go book viral on my damn thing.
Turn it into it's not just a program that occurs inside of prison. It's also in schools and colleges and high schools and other organizations that AVP goes and has these workshops. And so they help teach people how to resolve conflict violently and communicate and process. So it's a great program. I love the workshops, and I've spent the time to become a full facilitator and help teach the program alongside of the volunteers that come in and donate their time and make the program special. So those are the first two things that I'm involved in.